ongoing vote of all strategies. Who every Boule member is invited to pick a strategy he likes and to vote for this. And maybe we can, after the news, we can go into it. I guess if somebody already voted, he maybe can add a few words which strategy he liked or which he think is not going to work, and maybe can have an opinion on this. And yeah, we do that later. But on the product side, we have the concentrator out there. It has, I didn't check just today, but last day, 2 days ago, we had yesterday we had 40 million TVL. So we are growing, and it looks like we found a product market fit for this. So and we're adding constantly new pools. Today I'm the last one on the multi-signature wallet, and I should sign a transaction to add a wrapped Steve and / RETH pool. So this is the pool with Rocket Pool, ETH in it, and the Lido token, staked ETH Lido token. And we will add this next to the concentrator. And DeFi Dad, who is also in the call, he made a nice educational video how it works. You find it on Twitter. Yeah, and what we also did, I think we can make this public. Sharlyn, you have to interrupt me. And I guess we are preparing a curve to get a curve grant for the concentrator, because Curve added a new thing, and in a way it's a misuse. It's not a misuse, but in a way Curve distributes Curve token constantly, emits constantly Curve token, and we did see that last week. The Viper language itself should get a vote, and Curve voted for it, or Curve owner token holders voted for it, that they spend I think 2 million curves for Viper, the language. It was like a Platonic language for use for smart contract. Mostly it's used Solidity, but Viper is also used, and I think Curve itself is written Viper. So there's and there will be more projects coming. So projects start to apply for grants and from the Curve community, and if they get voted in, they will get Curve on the normal emission of Curve. And this is somehow, interesting, because now Curve is also used to fund some projects, and I guess we will apply for this. Then we had as last research meeting, we had the candidates who want to be candidate for the Boule, and now there's a vote ongoing on Snapshot where you can vote for these candidates or against them if you don't think they add something. But mostly we have a lot of yes vote for them, and I post the link in the chat. This is the link for the new member election, and then for the ongoing strategy vote. So yeah, that's from the news side, I guess. So maybe Sharlyn, do you want to talk a little bit more on concentrator and how things is developing on this side?
And so I think concentrator has made pretty good progress, in particular in this bear market backdrop, and also we didn't issue a specific token associated with the product, right? So the TVL just continue to grow, and we really want to thank DeFi Dad and the Mr. Masa, right, have really helped us, to spread the words, to get the broader community to know about this and help us to build reputation and trust. So we're going to launch a couple more features on that. And of course, we're going to continue to add new vaults to the product. So the Rocket Pool vault is coming today or tomorrow, and we're going to add UST as well. So if any of the Boule members, just if you have suggestion on any of the vaults you think we should add, please let us know. Plus, we're going to add this feature that we can zap any assets into the deposit UX. And thanks, DeFi, for the introduction. I'm just actually about to reply to that. We actually have developed this feature ourselves, and that's also being audited. So this is coming very quickly. So that's really, I think, going to upgrade the deposit experience to next level. Plus, we are actually working on another product around curve and convex ecosystem. So concentrator is just on the farming side. It help the convex and curve farmers to maximize their yields. And this new product coming to the market in about 3 weeks time. So it's going to automate the process for users to participate in convex bribes, harvest the yields, reinvest into CVX, and also there's a leverage services on CVX coming with that as well. So we are very excited about this, and we're going to post the Boule console on this very shortly when we have a demo out.
Yeah, we also, I forgot this, we will have another Aladdin talk next Monday at 3 p.m. On Twitter Space. And then it's just that we see that we need like, or Aladdin DAO, one strategy is that we want to connect closer to the community and see what the community needs. And so we will have Sammy from Redacted and the Topex staff on this call, and we will discuss curve and convex stuff, and we will see. Just if you have time, you can tune in. And we did a little bit analyze situation about concentrator, and we did come to the conclusion that it's a crucial time if people have to withdraw from convex and then submit to concentrator. That's what you have to do. If you have an LP position on convex, you have to withdraw, and then you have to put it into concentrator. So you have to move your assets, and it's fee involved. So one thing we have been talking about is that somehow it makes sense that if projects add new pools the first time, and what we see now is that projects adding constantly new curve pool 2, version 2, because then it's and some of the projects, they move assets from Uniswap or SushiSwap to curve, and this is one of the moments where people are adding liquidity, and I guess it maybe makes sense that we reach out to this community who add new pools to curve and try to connect them, because then it makes sense not to use convex, but directly use a concentrator. And, so if you know any project who has planned to move liquidity from either Uniswap or any pool, or make a new pool, then let us know. And this is an interesting thing, we see that what we see now is a little bit that project, either you have to incentivize liquidity with your own token, or the other strategies that you buy like a convex, and then you get a gauge from curve, and then you can pay the liquidity with the token who is not your own token, and then you don't dilute the token out there. I think that's the part of our concentrator. So we are fast, we're just like 15 minutes. And so I would like to open the space. So if anybody has ideas about concentrator, or questions, or ideas how we can make this, what do you think? Do you have anything missing features, or what comes to your mind? Did you check it out?
Yeah. Hey, Martin. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Hey. So, yeah, I love that thinking around allowing someone to migrate an LP that's staked in Convex. Obviously, it requires some coordination with Convex, the community, to get, you know. So it sounds like it might require like an actual proposal. Have you had any conversations like privately or publicly yet with them? Because I'm sure they've my gut is that there are some in the Convex community who are probably very excited, you know, to have seen what Concentrator has done so far, and then probably that many more who were like, what, you know, what is this thing? Is this like a legit project? You know, because you got to be worried, like when someone builds a complementary application, are they riding on your coattails and using you for their own gain, or are they actually adding value? And I'm hoping, the only thing I could see pushback on is whether maybe some don't want to see the CVX token like sold off, even though we're actually accruing CVX curve for them by doing that. So yeah, there's that conversation. And then if that becomes possible, I'm pretty certain there's another project that's still confidential, but the idea is that they could help us to bundle smart contracts so that it would look really pretty and smooth on the front end. You'd be able to migrate a position and it would do all the work for you in less transactions. Or imagine you go to Concentrator and you have Ether and you want to get into the Steph or RETH LP staked through Concentrator. You could, you wouldn't have to go and get the Convex. You wouldn't have to go and get the Curve LP. It would basically swap or deposit your tokens for the appropriate tokens in the right proportions, create the LP. And so it just saves gas and time and effort versus sending people off to go have to deposit into the LP. So yeah, those things will be huge though. It just removes friction on the front end for people who see an opportunity but are already locked into Convex, or see an opportunity and they're like I don't want to have to go over to Curve and do all this stuff beforehand. But I think the big money is clearly seeing it. You know, at the end of the day, we want DeFi to be for everyone, but we have the same issues as traditional finance with, you know, there's certain folks with that much more money.
So the first point, we try to reach out to Convex, but somehow Convex, it's not, I think because they don't, you know, they have a product which they don't have to make publicity for, basically, you know, it just runs on their own. So they are not so present, you know, that they are not like, they're not actively trying to grow, basically. I guess that's what I see, you know. So, but I reached out to Vintrop. I just sent him a message I did connect to him almost like 2 months ago as we made the airdrop, the second airdrop for Aladdin token. So I had some contact there. And so I reconnected, I sent him your link, you know, with your tutorial, just to see that they know we exist, you know, basically. And I did also see from other community members that some of them has just a wait and see approach because they want to see it battle tested. And this only works over time, basically, you know, even if you're audited. And I guess, Sharlyn, if I got it right, we will make a second audit because then it's even more trusted somehow. And one thing, I think it just needs time. And other thing is, I don't think we are parasitic somehow, because now Convex anyway, you know, you earn your rewards in Convex and people just do it on their own, you know, selling this on the market. And I think that the positive thing we add is that we're helping the pack, you know, by buying CVX curve. In a way, we add buy pressure on the side who everyone benefits. So I guess we are a valid additional addition to the convex ecosystem, basically landscape. And
I think the
yeah.
one other thing that could be helpful is we could contract someone to make a Dune dashboard. I know I can't remember the name. There's like a term for people who like full-time make Dune dashboards, but it would probably make sense to add more of those stats. You know, could like some interesting stats would be how much of the money in Concentrator was originated from like an LP that was already staked in Convex, because it sort of demonstrates that trust. There's, you know, nothing's going to replace just what you mentioned earlier. The longer we exist, the more battle tested, the better it is. I mean, I personally, like, you know, we can all vouch for the fact that someone doesn't have to worry about like a rug with Concentrator, but, you know, just because of the unknowns that could exist despite audits, anyone's going to exercise caution. So every day that we, you know, continue to exist without an exploiter bug, the better. But some of those stats that really just promote like who's got money in there, where did the money originate from, and how is it performing? That's the most important thing. I know, having spoken to a few friends about it, you know, they exercise the same sort of caution, said, you know, I get it. Of course, I don't have to worry about the rug because I know who the team is through you and Aladdin DAO. But just what if, you know, there's always that, until they look at the performance boosting it. They're like, if that's real, which right now it's been short term, if we can sustain outperforming by that much, which we should be able to, you know, just because of the nature of continually claiming and compounding returns, if that can hold up, that alone, that'll get people to start moving money into Concentrator. It's just too much of a difference. You're not going to skip out on a 50% increase in your own yield.
Yeah, I totally agree. So this is the reason why we just try to to make more how do we say, time, but to get closer. We do this Aladdin talk, you know, next week, that we are more visible by the Curve Convex community, because the Convex community is not so monolithic in a way. It's a lot of, I've been in the Discord last week, and then you see other players like Alan Ara, who has been one of the Aladdin talks. They are quite, many people are present there, but there's like, it's somehow a distributed community somehow. Yeah, I don't know, Sharlyn, anybody else has like input? And of course, the better the interface is, and the more easy to use, then you remove like friction. This is always good to have, and I guess we have like the dev power to do this kind of things, and then it's it's a benefit for all. Yeah, this is a question. Yeah, maybe Mr. Masa, you want to ask it yourself on the public. You know, just a question you just posted. Yeah, just talk. You're free to.
Thank you. Yeah, just my quick questions. I just thinking about it like this way, because looks like currently no one working on like fully integrate token economics, to leverage like convex work here. So Aladdin DAO can take the initiative. It's kind of a little unique and a new approach into the DeFi space. So just my curiosity. If someone can build this kind of token economics, I think it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I think somehow we pivoted to this. Now we are really, we had at the start, Aladdin DAO should be something different than it now is. It changed. It's like normal, and now we have a working product, and of course we have to think about how we can the value we create there, how it can reflect on the Aladdin token. But somehow we made a decision it's not we made a decision to concentrate on the product side right now, and I guess maybe it's also the right move. First get the product running and then think about how you can reflect, if you have a valuable product, how you can reflect on the tokenomics of your token, of Aladdin token. And yeah, that's just, on the long run, we have to, of course we will work on this, but right now we are much more concentrated on the product side, basically. And somehow to agree to be open, that's maybe the nice side, about the bear market, that the pressure, because every token loses like value, or the most of it lose value, the pressure from outside to really act quick on the value side is not so big as it once have been, But of course, over the long run, the goal is to have a working product and to make some revenues, and then to have reflected this on the Aladdin token.
Yeah, I think so. And also, like,
but the thing is, we had many, maybe we are a little bit cautious on this side because we changed it like twice, and now we are a little bit hesitant, to just to re-change it, because you always have to get your community with you, and it's yeah. I personally, I didn't think a lot about this, really to find a solution, because I think we are allowed to concentrate right now and have a product.
Yeah, yeah, and the other thing, I want to add is, so all the revenue from concentrator comes to Aladdin DAO treasury at the moment. And so, based on our current economics model, so if, Aladdin treasury, is piling up, right, the token, should be valuable as well, because the token right now is just a reflection of the value in the treasury, right? But we're just getting, the process started. I think once the TVL, like moves up, and the revenue really kicks in, that will make a difference, right? But if there is, like, for any reason that concentrator need to issue a token by its own, whatever, so everyone within Aladdin DAO community, all the ALD holder are going to benefit from this product on equal basis.
I was thinking about, like, we should avoid like some kind of a, new DeFi project usually take like an inflation like token economics in the beginning to boost the TVL. I think, simply say, I think we should avoid that, because, that kind of sometimes, generate the misunderstanding that, in the end of those kind of inflation policy, token economics, a lot of, retail investor, sell the ALD tokens. That also caused another, like, the, high volatility was, high selling inflation in the market. I think we should avoid that kind of, market reactions. So I think it's still that, time is kind of key to when we integrate those ALD economics into concept later.
Yeah, that's really the biggest lesson, we learned from V1, right? And so we put out the token before, we had product market fit, and then, the token value just keep falling because, the product utility just doesn't catch up with the value of the token, right? And the community got really hurt. So, this time around, we want to make sure we have a working product, right? And before, this is, properly value captured.
Yeah, I really think in this, if you think about, the normal style would have been that we distribute a token on top, you take concentrate, and then if people use it, they get like project token, and we don't do it. And somehow this is also a pro, I think, but if you look at our space, many products, they pay people for use it. And it's nice for the user to get this extra money or token, because they can dump it on the market and make another accrue of value, wherever they do, and some of them hold. But basically, you get also users who aren't only are users because you have a token to dump, you know, and as soon as you stop distributing the token, these users leave again. And I guess this is very nice because now we have like a product who is working, and we have a fit. We have like 40 million TVL, and so people use it even without getting paid. And this is, yeah, maybe you've been lucky or whatever, but it's not easy to achieve. So, and I think this is a good base to work on, because then you also get the feedback, honest feedback from people who use your product without getting paid, and then you can build out your product in the direction of the feedback the real user gives you. And I guess this is has a lot of value, basically. Yeah, the Dune dashboard, I think that's a great idea because it adds like transparency, and we don't have to, people can just look at this. I do it for the project sometimes, you know. It's nice to see, even also if you have like a time, if you not only see like a TVL, you would see other stuff on a Dune dashboard. But we see, I think this is a great idea. So I don't know, should we are there more things about concentrate or ideas, or should we maybe go to the other part?
I had a question about the multi-sig. So I didn't even know who was on it. So that's probably something else aside from some of the suggested data points in the chat I threw in for a Dune dashboard. I think it would make a lot of sense to publish it with like their Twitter handles or whatever is their public profile, credibility. So
I guess it's on the Aladdin documentation. You will find it somewhere.
That's great. Yeah,
it's on GitHub and also on Gitbook. We can tweet about this. Currently, there are 9.
It's a great idea.
There are 9 multi-sig holders. They are VFAT, Martin, Alex Peck, Ashwin. Ashwin is just the partner from Dragonfly Capital, myself, and 3 devs from our team.
Oh, cool. Oh, this is great. Okay, that's good. So that's a good array, good like mix of folks. I might consider then, and most projects don't do this, but I'm just thinking of like how early we are in this idea of, you know, reinforcing the credibility of the team, because like, you know, not everyone knows you all personally like I would. I would throw up a direct link on the website that just says, you know, something like multi-sig signer, something like that, so they can quickly find it. But yeah, no, that's wonderful to hear, because that's what makes it a DAO. Otherwise, I was a little bit worried, and I actually had some friends ask about this as well. They were like, well, who controls the smart contracts? And that was my job today to follow up on that. So a multi-sig does properly control the smart contracts.
Yeah. So I think we need 6 out of 9 people to sign to make any transaction happen. And we'll tweet about
maybe we should publish it more.
Yes.
We should be more vocal about this, because it's something I also do. You know, if you, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't. Sometimes if you analyze project, you look at this, you know, and it's nice if you see that 6 to 9 is pretty well. You know, you see other stuff like 2 of 3 basically, and then only the 2 are post devs of the project. So they're just 2 bodies controlling it basically. Yeah. So I know I I don't know if people voted on the intermediate season strategy thing, and if somebody wants to come forward and say what he thinks of the strategy which are there and which the strategy he likes, or should we skip that?
Martin, I'll be I'm almost finally back at my hotel here, and so if anyone else speaks, I definitely could weigh in. I did vote pretty quickly last week, and
Okay.
yeah, just I have still a somewhat fearful sentiment of the market, despite it looking great lately. So I definitely looked through the strategies and thought a lot about where can I maximize my exposure to easy stablecoin yield? Where can I avoid any sort of tokens that aren't blue chip, quote unquote, really popular, super liquid tokens. But anyways, if anyone else wants to weigh in, if they voted, I'd love to hear what they're thinking.
Do you remember the favorite one? Did you really think this yeah, I need this? Or
oh yeah. No, it's very straightforward. I despite all the I think what do I want to say? What's the term? The appropriate concerns around the sustainability of the anchor rate, given what's happened lately, especially with this buying of Bitcoin to back the UST peg. I have a lot of confidence in this continuing to put out higher yield, and so Orion is still top of my list. I would use Terra directly. I would use Anchor directly myself if someone was willing to use a Terra wallet like I am. But since we're talking just Ethereum applications, it's been my number one pick since the start. It puts out 15%, never wavers, never goes up, never goes down, just continues to print out 15%. While every other yield, I feel like it comes and goes. So yeah, that's still my number one pick. And I don't have, to be clear, I actually don't have any sort of investment in Orion. I discovered it after they launched, and yeah, just really impressed by the predictability of 15%.
cool. Yeah, I myself, I didn't vote. I have to. I posted in the chat. I posted the sheet to the vote and to all the strategies, and yeah, I guess it takes time to look at this and then think what you like on the plate. What you think is sustainable and have a long-term outlook to be successful.
Yeah, I didn't vote yet either, but so I still got to do a little bit of thinking on that. But I did want to just double check or just make sure people are aware. I see a lot of people voting no, but you have to put up stake to your no votes now, right? So if people are voting no on every single thing that they're not voting yes for, they may get themselves into a pickle not being able to put up stake for that, right?
I'm not. Yeah, for Sharlyn.
Yeah, for any yes or no vote, you need to put up 10K ALD minimum. And the benefit for no vote is if there's anything goes wrong with that strategy, and the other people's actually token going to come to you.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think a couple of people had voted no on, I don't know about every single thing that they weren't voting yes on, but yeah, I just wanted to double check there because the numbers might not work out. But I mean, obviously, I don't think that many strategies get into where that would be a problem right out of the gate. But yeah, something to keep in mind when people are voting. I guess you got to have probably conviction on both ways.
Can you say that just once more? So I voted yes on what I believe in, which I'm I'll have to pull up my computer here. I voted yes on I think 4 or 5 strategies, but then I did vote no. I thought you had to vote no against anything that you weren't a yes on. So I'll go back and correct that. That's my
yeah.
the way
I wasn't sure
yeah.
either. I went back and checked like the docs and stuff to make sure after I saw all the no votes, which obviously perfectly okay to vote no on stuff that you think is the right way. But yeah, I figured people might have just like thought that that's what you had to do. So yeah, I wanted to double check.
I think so too. No, thanks for pointing that out. I think everyone thought it was like a yes or a no. So I need to go back and correct mine too. I wasn't thinking all those strategies were gonna like, you know.
Yeah, it's like you got people got some real conviction on this if they're ready to put up money for every single no here.
Yeah, so we just want people to have skin in the game, right? For every vote they put in, regardless it's yes or no. And the minimum is 10K ALD associated with each vote. And so you can top up if you want to. And if any of the strategy you propose get voted in, and you get 100K ALD rewards immediately. So actually, you know, the board member who proposed the strategy should have incentive, right, to lobby others to vote for that.
Yeah, at the end, you know, we did it like it's not complicated system, but in the background, yeah, we did think about this, and maybe it's only visible in the small print what you say now, but somehow that's yeah, it's needed, you know, that voting has a price. So if you voted no and didn't know that it has a price attached, so yeah, you can change it. That's a little bit strange about Snapjob. It always tells you you can change it, but in fact, I guess you can change. Most of the votes are changeable.
Yeah, it's just the latest signature is taken as the true one. So
yeah, that's strange because if the message is you can change it, but you can change it. So change it.
Yeah, I mean the old message would still be like valid, but there would be a new one that has like a higher like that's basically supersedes it.
It's funny because I must have voted no on, I don't know, 20 different strategies. It was like, wow, is this guy like investigating everyone's smart contracts and knows something that we don't? Like, it's fun. I probably wouldn't vote. So okay, so the goal here is I'm voting appropriately yes on anything that I really believe is going to offer the best yield, but then just unless I actually think the strategy is like going to fail in where like someone loses their money, I shouldn't vote against it, right? Like it's not.
I think also
not
if you think it's like liable to have like a negative return overall, I think that's also still part of the criteria. But yeah, either of those, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't think we had any of those or many of those. I felt like everything was about putting like a token to work where you were, barring an exploit, you were pretty much guaranteed to get back exactly what you put in. I guess also you could get hit with a withdrawal fee.
Yeah, some of them were like you take ETH and do that. So I guess depending on if the treasury already had that ETH versus like how we're calculating the return on it matters there. But
awesome. Yeah. I'm like going back to look here. Yeah, I think I'm the last person who voted on this. Oh boy. Yeah, so the other, just mentioning a few others I was thinking to vote yes on because of the sustainability of the yield was Maple Finance. I've seen Maple continue to like put out that consistent sort of yield. And I also voted yes on, I think it was one of the convex Steph strategies. I'm looking at the abbreviation, so I could be misreading this.
There was I think there's a spreadsheet link in there that might help to.
Yes.
I posted the spreadsheet in the chat. There's a link from.
Oh, thank you. Yep.
It's in the chat.
So yeah,
It's in the
that's
snapshot description too. Yeah.
Yeah, so just answer Cody's question earlier. So we're going to create a virtual portfolio for everyone, right? So any voted in strategies, right? And the Boule members involved, right? You're going to have a virtual portfolio with a few strategies. So we're going to just, calculate this based on, if we put in 10K USDC into that strategy. And how much it's going to worth at the end of each epoch, and that will become the balance of your virtual portfolio. And the token allocation going to the Boule members rewards are going to based on everyone's virtual portfolio's balance.
Sharlyn, so if you were to vote yes for multiple protocols, is it like placing a bet of 10,000 on each of those, or is it 10,000 divided by
10,000 on each of them? And
cool.
if you actually, you can put down more, right? You can put down 10K ALD for each strategy, right? Or if you have really high level of conviction, you can put down a lot more, right? That means you're going to have, a bigger balance, right? If this strategy really performs, right? And you're going to, have, right? If the strategy lose money, right, or it blows up, right? That means that balance will just gone, right, or go into negative, right? So
Got it.
Yeah. So for people to play this game well, it's really to bet on the strategy they have a high level of conviction and bet that in size.
Got it. Now, if you're looking at the snapshot page, it looks like you can only choose, yes or no. So if, for example, if you had more conviction about one of the strategies, how would you size up? Like, how would you increase the size of that bet on that protocol?
Yeah. So that snapshot proposal basically just, going to decide which strategy going to get voted in, right? Because we do need a certain percentage of consensus, right, for each strategy to be voted in. And then we're going to ask everybody, right, to put, their ALD, send their ALD to address, and they need to tell us, right, how much they want to bet on each strategy. So we can do that calculation for their virtual portfolio balance for each epoch. And if this works out, we're going to just automate this, right? Make a system, right, to have it running as an ongoing performance evaluation system for the Boule console.
Cool. Well, thank God we talked about this. I like I said, I'm gonna change mine.
There's also a FAQ on the top of the sheet, and I post the link to the chat. Where some of these questions or different questions are answered.
Hey, could anyone help with so as I'm looking through these, what I did was I looked through each and like double checked the yield recently to see like what it was, and that basically, and if I wasn't already familiar with it, it helped to inform like me as to whether any of these yields could sustain at a rate that would be worth putting money into it for my virtual portfolio. I think one of the few I might have not been able to track down is the Rari Capital Fay 3 curve pool. So I'm not sure if anyone, I'm trying to look for it right now again, like maybe I just missed it. But if anyone happens to have that link handy, it looks like it's the third one down from Sid. It was deposit into the Fay 3 curve pool, and then stablecoin LP yield in Tribe, which I'm wondering, where do you that reference to staking in Tribe? I'm assuming that's on Rari Capital's website now.
I guess so, yeah. I guess you have, this Phi 3 curve pool is like one of these meta pools, so it's
Right.
fine.
Right.
Yeah, and then I guess you do the liquidity token, and then you take it and supply it to lend it out, I guess. So
Oh wait, I think I figured it out. So you go to Rari Capital. So yeah, Martin, as you just pointed out, you deposit into the Fei 3 curve pool on Curve, and then after you do that, you have an option to supply it, deposit it as collateral, which currently is earning 9.74% APR in just Tribe. So you're earning a reward there on Rari. And then I think they were saying that you would borrow against it, or maybe that was it. I think that's the end of the strategy. That was it. Just so you're earning stable coin yield, whatever that is in the 3 curve pool for Fei, which is great. So this is a cool one. Yeah, this is, I don't know if I get worried about tokens like Tribe, how they're going to hold up. But yeah, and that, all it's going to do is it's just going to determine whether you earn that much more yield or not. This is another example of like, you shouldn't be risking walking away with less money. It's just a matter of how much more yield you're going to earn.
Yeah, try to find the place on Rari, but I don't. Where did you see that?
Oh, I'll share it here.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's the pool 8. Pool
Yep,
number 8.
pool 8. Yep, pool number 8 on Rari app.rari.capital under Fuse. So, and then technically you could, like, I'm not advocating this because you definitely are taking some risk. Like, you could get liquidated if you don't maintain the loan. But since you're putting up a stablecoin LP, it's great collateral because it should just continue to grow. So if you borrowed more Fei, if you were able to put that back to work, but right now it looks like borrowing costs about 6.18%. So it's kind of a high borrow rate versus if you're earning 9.74%. Like, in other words, like, I'd be worried about that, you know, the what you're earning dropping, and now you're borrowing for more than what you're earning.
The one thing, my question for this strategy. So what's maybe Sharlyn or try to check the FAQ. So what's the time scale on this? Is it like forever or?
So so for the 10K ALD deposit required for each strategy, that's minimum 6 months. So after 6 months, people can withdraw that anytime, but that will affect their balance of their virtual portfolio. Right. So if that's a strong position, people probably just want to leave it there. Right. And if that's losing money, people will just, withdraw that.
Thanks. Yes.
Yeah, so that's minimum 6 months. So I think Martin will probably just need to probably send out a couple of reminders, right?
Yes.
So because there's a minimum threshold, right? We need at least 6 people to vote yes for a strategy for that to be voted in, right? Actually, need to be 6 net yes. Right, for that strategy to be voted in.
The maybe question to the people on the call. I did send a mail. Did you get that mail? Like 2 days ago?
Yeah. So if we don't have enough people, I didn't get to the email. But yeah, I think we should make sure people are aware of this, right? I think some of the strategy there are really good. Right, if they don't get in because not enough people vote yes for that, that would be such a pity.
Yeah, I think we have to do some extra outreach somehow. We should send them direct messages and try to.
Yeah, and the Boule members who propose that strategy, right, should help to promote this as well, because, as long as this strategy gets votes in, people get the 100K ALD immediately.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 5 minutes left. I guess we can also close it earlier or now.
Yeah, I would love if next week, since we I think there was some misunderstanding, on my end and probably some others here about how to vote. But yeah, love to talk about this more next week. I think if we're talking about a 6-month timeline, I am, despite the fact that, I'll disclose that I personally think the rest of the year, despite the ups and downs that we're going to have, we're going to hit new all-time highs in crypto, like across the market. Like I think Bitcoin, Ether. So I have a very bullish sentiment. But if I'm betting on like yields here, I'm probably going to stick still to just whatever, you've seen it so far. Like I really love the anchor rate, which carries quite a bit of risk. I think there's a rightful concern about a death spiral, but if you are already on board for something like the anchor rate, I use that as like a benchmark now against all other rates. And so I think Curve obviously continues, Curve plus Convex plus now Concentrator is like the magic combo. And that's probably going to be my portfolio is going to reflect that. In fact, I wish that Nick could update his Convex 2 strategy so that it was the staff on Concentrator. I don't know if that's fair at this point, but what he proposed is exactly that. He just didn't have Concentrator available. So yeah, I mean, if I can bet on ETH and bet on stable coins or, whatever people's long-term store of value is, whether it's Sol or Bitcoin or AVAX, whatever your thing is, I'm gonna, that's my strategy here with the portfolio. So, but if someone could definitely, I would expect if someone makes take some more risk, one of these strategies could really, could really win out a lot more. Like if I can earn a consistent 15%, I am super happy with that with stable coins. But if anyone else can net out more than 15% to 20% for over 6 months, I mean, you deserve a reward. Yeah. And so anyways, I'd love to talk more about this next week, though. I'm hoping everyone has more time now to vote and think on this. Maybe I don't know if VFAT was on today, but like he always has some of the most like advanced thinking of anyone. He's like a wizard of smart contracts. Yes, yeah. I'm in the minor leagues of farming, but VFAT is he could teach us all something. So, but thank you so much for all the hard work to Martin and Sharlyn lately, and Mr. Masta.
Yeah, this is also, the sheet made Kruger and BTT made the sheet. So people in the background work on this. Thanks to them. This is
absolutely.
But of course, maybe we can ask Nick Pye to update, stake on Convex. Yeah, that's what we are doing with Concentrator, basically. Okay, so yeah, we do hour in 2 minutes. So maybe we will outreach and make the next call next week about these strategies and yeah, I think that's it. So we will have the next Aladdin talk on Twitter Space Monday. It's like yeah, I need a note. Time is 3 p.m. UTC, and DeFi Dad is hosting this, and I will be also there, and then we will discuss more yeah, convex curve stuff and also concentrators. So that's the outlook. And yeah, thank you for joining. Have a nice week. See you. Bye. Tschüss. Ciao.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Take care.
Thank you, everybody.
Good
Okay.
chat.
Thanks.
You.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, ciao.
You too.